Okay, we are back from the break. Now we are focusing. Now we already discussed, like just a recapture. We discussed the product knowledge, its benefit, its advantages, and its attributes or feature. We discussed prospecting, how you funnel down the list of your prospecting, or how to list it, or how to apply to get the proper prospects to match to your product or service. We discussed approach, that you have to focus on the first, find out what kind of the personality you are, and what kind of detect the personality of the person you are selling, and try to match that personality to for the proper communication. And then we start to look for the qualifying. The moment that you get the person or the group to be comfortable with you, you start asking questions. We don't start the question with W5 question. We try to use open-end question rather than closed-end question unless it is necessary. And even closed-end questions, we start with a phrase, paraphrase, and then we go with proceed with the question to get what? To understand what is their priorities and what is their expectation. When the priorities and expectation is determined, what we do, we provide all the solution. Then we verify that solution to make sure that we are on the same page. If we are not on the same page, we go back, we try to backtrack to see what we missed, to find out what is the final requirement and expectation. Now, we already just told them what kind of the package or service we provide. Now it is the time to do the presentation. That means now they are engaged. Now the presentation is the part that we provide the detailed information about what we are going to do. Are we okay till now? Mm-hmm. Okay. We recap needs and priorities with again, you see, a smooth transaction. After we test it, we recap that, we make sure that they are understood. We recommend only one suitable solutions, and maybe two sometimes. We don't want to confuse people. If you need to have certain service, you don't provide. I give you an example. A lot of salespeople, they don't do their job, first of all, qualifying. And then they assume or they guess, based on the conversation, that what the prospective customer wants, and then say, oh, no, that is not what I need. Oh, don't worry, we have that too. We have that too. They put the list.
So now they open up the possibilities.
No, that is to open up the confusion.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
They, instead of funneling
the customer. Yeah. So always, because the professional, after all of those stages, like a doctor, if you go to a doctor and say, I'm sick, I have a stomach pain, and this, the doctor asks you questions, and then check you physically, and then maybe you send you to a couple of tests and bring you back and say, hey, your illness is this, and that is the solution. And you say, oh, I don't like that. Oh, by the way, you don't like aspirin? Oh, we have series of the pills available for you. You choose it and I give it to you. No, you don't want to do that. You are not professional. You are just a drug pusher. And then you go to explain the benefit and solutions again, and describe that includes what is included your package. Ask for the order, and listen to the customer response. Like that play with DiCaprio. Impersonal, proper qualifying helps to solid presentation. Focus on the customer's needs. Again, we talk. Be careful again about the jargons. This is the part that people fall into this trap. A salesperson who is selling something that needs a couple of the terminology of their trade, and here is the part that they start to throw it out, and the customer don't understand it. Objective, conveying the benefit of the product and effectively recognizing buying signal, and this is the part we are going to talk about here, and answering questions and handling the objections. Keys to good presentation. First of all, we talk about that neat, organized. We already talk about it. That is why I said when we get to the end of this presentation, it's faster because I already talk about that, how you present. We are talking about if you're selling ski equipment and going to a ski lodge, you are not going with a three-piece suit. But if you're selling something to a CEO on the Bay Street, you have to appropriately clothed because, again, you reduce the amount of the preconceived prejudice and you can convey your message. 4 P's of the presentation, which is plan, prepare, practice, and present. Plan. When you are going to, if it is on the phone or it is in person. That is why that script that I was talking about, it comes to the effect. You have to plan. Today I came here, I had my plan. I had my presentation, I have my suit, I have my doohickey to do this, I planned it. Prepare. I prepare all of my presentation beforehand. I had about 500, not 500, about 350 slides, and another one was about 100 something. I prepare only 100 of that, so I prepare that to be adjusted to 6 to 8 hours, which then came to 4 hours anyhow. But that I prepared. Practice, I have done it for many years, so I didn't do practice in this case. That is why I am not in my optimal presentation mode right now, because I haven't done this for the last 6 years. But since I have done it in the past many times and it has been part of me, therefore for me it's not that difficult to get back. Sure. It's like, and present, which I am doing the present. So every sales call that you have to practice all of to apply all of these elements. If I know something about my prospective customers, let's say I know their personality, I know their product, I know their service, I know their needs in advance, so it's a good time that for me to practice and, when you do presentation, you have to take control of conversation again, not control of people. It's a control of situation, control of conversation. The one who asks the question, I always control the conversation. The moment the other person starts asking the question or trying to get you away, which one of the techniques they are using, usually if they don't want to buy and they want to entertain themselves at your expense, and if you are not in control, they enjoy. Like I do, sometimes people call me to sell something, and I enjoy it too. If I have time for 2-3 minutes, I'm using myself. I do the same thing to them. Just pure entertainment. They call me, so why not? I enjoy my time. Control is the result of confidence, and confidence is the result of product knowledge. You see, at the end of presentation, we end up to what? Product knowledge. Even though we have to do all of that, it is the part that if you do not know what you're selling, they can put you under pressure, and they say, all of things that you told me was baloney.
So it gives you the base.
Plan. What I have to carry to myself, it is organization. For instance, a lot of salespeople go there, and they get to the customer to say, okay, how do we do that? How do I start that? Do you have pen? It's like a mechanic ask you for a screwdriver. You don't want to be in a position to bring again any form of the interruption in your presentation. You have to have notes. You have to have your information ready. You have to have your prices ready. You have to have extra pen. You have to have extra staple if you are doing a couple of the attachment in your application or forms or whatever you do. Why should I use in presentation binder? It's very simple. Keep your focus and keeps your focus on the track, helps you not to miss important points. Sometimes if you are selling something either for the first time or you are new at it, or something that is a little bit more complicated, put the list, have a list. Just make sure that you have addressed all of those. If you don't, again, you come back to the objection. and illustrates some key points very effectively, gives you confidence, appears professional, and allows you to observe body language. When you have your stuff ready, you are not missing opportunity. Your eyes looking for pen and missing what John is doing. Either he's doing this, either doing this, either doing this, either doing this. So your focus is, again, your target is what? The person that you are selling to. What do I need to prefer to before heading out? Know your presentation. Okay, we discussed just already that. Visit, again, do your research now. Most of people that you're selling, they have website. At least do a little bit research. You don't have to make a big judgment. Just do a little bit research. You know what you are talking about. Check the weather when broadcast for dress. And I give you an example. 2-3 years ago, I was a very short time. I was dealing, selling consulting, high-level consulting package for an American company, and they send me the fax. These are your meetings today for 2 or 3 meetings a day, and one of them was all the way in Commerce Street, Commerce and Victoria Park. I get up in the morning, I look at it's cloudy, it's not bad. I just put my raincoat, I went there. I got off, and I got off like 1 block away from the place. Rain started. I get to the door of that building that I am doing the presentation like a wet mouse. That is not a good sight for the person who wants to see you as a presentation. So it is first-hand experience. So it happened many times, but it's just one of them came to my mind. And check your cell phone battery and all of that these days. That ABC vocal form that I said earlier, A, B, 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 C, C, C. So you know you are not going to cough or something is, what is that, cut in your throat. Actors and performers. In sales, unless you are confident enough that you are excellent actor, never try to act. By the way, if you are excellent actor, you shouldn't be in sales, you should be in Hollywood. So what you do is performing, and performing is based on knowledge. The difference between actor and performer is like the difference between an actor in a movie and a singer. A singer performs. He or she has a good voice, has a song, and performs his or her talent. Actor pretend to be someone else. In sales, as I said, unless you're a great actor, you're always performing. That is why you have to practice what is your trade. Start with which I explained that. Practice in front of mirror, record your voice. These are the techniques that you can use when you do the presentation. For instance, if I am doing the presentation 20 years ago, I used to have a mirror, and I used to do the presentation to myself. See if it looks bad, good. At least I have my own opinion. Then I used to practice in front of a couple of friends and ask them, okay, be devil advocate. Be the worst buyer that's possible. Not to handle their objection, but to see how my figure, my body language, my posture respond to that. I used to go to Toastmasters in 93, 94. Even though very limited vocabulary in English, and all of the other people were English speaking in Vancouver, I managed to get my Toastmaster competent Toastmaster, because they helped me to criticize me. Okay, if you could do this, you could do that. It helped me a lot at that time. So, and record. Either record yourself with a tape recorder or to see how the sound comes. That is why when you did your video, I said, your sound is fine, but it's not very alert, very. It's not urgent. That video, by the way, that you made needs an urgent, like a this is the crucial moment, this is happening, and that is the solution. That kind of the voice has to be there.
Now he tells me.
No, in 2000, for instance, I'm sorry?
No, he's saying, now you tell me now that it's done.
No,
Yeah,
you
that's
can
fine.
always say that. But in 2008, I was managing a telecommunication company, and we made some commercials, and our art director came to me and said, what do you want to do? Do you want to get someone in the office? I said, we are putting $10,000, $15,000 worth of advertisement in radio. You want to tell me someone from office, get someone professional. For $500, we got the actual voice that we send the script. They read it, they send it to us, and put it there.
No, I mean, exactly. Like, if one's got the money, it's worth doing.
No. I'm just using
Yeah.
that as an example. It was not criticism. I'm saying it's not. If the purpose is, again, selling the aromatherapy, that would be fine. But if it is selling something urgent, that is war, and we have a weapon, that is not the sound that really can wake people up for the war.
Mhm.
What should I do at presentation? We discuss about that. To establish a relation, tension must be reduced first, which we discuss about either the demeanor, the talk, the making rapport, all of that is for this reason. And then get the job done. And it's not a checkmate, it's a stalemate. And the reason is because a person who is buyer thinks you as someone who wants to get money out of his pocket. You are there for that purpose, but you want to create an environment because you believe that the product or service you provide is helpful or useful or whatever it is. You want to provide to let him know that he is buying it. So that is like a chess game.
So you're holding him in a state of tension.
And no tension.
No, but there is a tension because
No, there is a tension from his side that because he's resisting. You have your job is to bring that tension down.
no, but I mean no from another point of view. I'm talking about like in hypnosis, you're actually creating pressure. You're creating social pressure intentionally. So what's happening is you're holding this person in a certain lock.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get away, and ultimately, what happens is that it's almost like a staring competition, or like in sales, who's going to speak first, right?
Oh, we are talking about that.
That kind of thing.
It's a
So what
closing.
happens is there's a tension, and then who breaks the tension loses, and so ultimately you're
That,
putting in
the
that
part
position.
that you are talking about is
Yeah.
when it comes to asking for question for closing, which we are going to discuss.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at this moment, you are just presenting,
Right.
leading to the closing. And the other person wants to say, do every excuse possible, every body gesture possible to not let you convince him otherwise.
Right. Okay.
Generally speaking, again,
Yeah.
if you did all of the qualifying first, this wouldn't be a problem anyhow in this stage.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, sorry. When presenting, follow this basic rule. Sit or stand client on your right hand side, as I discussed earlier, or left hand based on what you are. It's very simple. First of all, it's friendly. Second, if I'm right-handed, if I'm writing something, if he is sitting here, I am blocking him. If I'm writing something, he can see that. He is coming close to you. These are all part of the very small thing, but it plays major role. Especially if you're selling something in the B2C to consumer, and consumer if you are presenting your presentation at their home or kitchen table. That is very important that you sit there. Or if you are going to a business, you are in the conference room. Sit side by side. Left-handed, use a pointer or pen to draw customers' attention. Don't use your finger. Again, go back to politics. A lot of politicians, if you go to the older movies, older footage, the politician used to do this kind of thing. If you notice after 1980s, the politicians do this. Try not to use their fingers. It's very,
W.C. Fields.
yeah, the fist is coming back, yes. So that is that, and proceed slowly, giving a client enough to read, and ask question each steps of the time. So we are getting to the close of this. Again, explain feature, advantage, present. Again, if they ask question again, observe before closing the sales. That is the part that is very important. You should be able to read positive, negative response after all of these things you have done. Body language, facial or wording reaction, and buying signal. What is buying signal?
A look of complete defeat.
Smile on their face.
Maybe they're
That's after they bought it, yes.
maybe they are making fun of you. How do you know?
I guess a release of tension, that you sort of see them relax.
That is a body language approach, but it does not necessarily is body signal. Body signal usually is in form of question.
Buying signal
Where do
is
I
a question.
They question. No, for instance,
What do you want me to do?
or visualization.
Yeah.
Any one of these. For instance, if you are a real estate, you had a real estate license.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you are getting a prospective buyer
Or
to a
good at
house, and you're showing them the house, and immediately the wife
Never
tells
got
to
to that
husband, yeah, that couch can go there.
Yeah.
Oh,
That is a buying signal.
I see.
You don't, one of the mistakes realtors make, they see that. Instead of proceeding to close, they start to yap. This house has that much tax reduction, the tax of this house is low, they're overselling it. The moment you see buying signal, you jump to the closing. Period.
Once you've made the sale, stop selling.
No, actually, when you make the sales for you maybe is end, for customer is start. Remember that. So buying signal is very important. If I'm selling something from that channel studio, let's say a package, and as soon as I said, oh, we are calling here, and so we are paying, how much is that? That is buying signal.
That's a buying signal,
Yes.
even if they don't have the price yet.
No. Why they're interested to know your price if they are not interested?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
but
think
that
that means you miss a
on.
couple of those. Why do they? Why do? If I am not
Think
interested
twice
in
about
your business, why I am not interested in your business? Why I'm asking for price?
Because you're interested in buying, maybe?
Of course.
I think I'm getting this.
Okay. No.
Surely you don't need to
I
imply
repeat certain things. I want to stick to the mind. That is the why. It's not that I am.
No, I know.
Build a relationship. It could take 3 or 4 visits to make a sale. That goes back to the sales cycle. A sales cycle for $30 item, maybe it's a telephone call. But if it is $3,000 or $30,000, it's maybe 3 months. So you have to be, you are not closing. If you don't sell on the first presentation, it doesn't mean that you lost the customer. Don't, as much as the first impression that we emphasize on that is important, the last impression is more important if you don't make the sale. You don't want people just finish and say what an asshole he was. Because 2 weeks later, maybe condition change, he needs or he wants your product, and if you call, they don't respond just because they think you're an asshole.
Yeah.
So it's not, you don't have to be brown nose or being flattering. You have to be precise, but enough precise not to overextend your what is that? Your welcomeness.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Okay, questioning elicits feelings, emotions, confirms facts, and customers' understanding. Listening identifies buying, verbal and non-verbal signal, which I explained a couple examples of that, both in real estate and as well as on the phone. Example, You discuss the advantages of obtaining a product and service and its benefit by asking a question. You had your customer agreeing that, saying yes. You illustrate the high cost of it, whatever, how it could be a major issue and gain. Secure agreement from your client that cost was real problem, saying yes. As you move through the presentation by asking questions, listening, effectively you are building the relationship, fostering trust as part of your closing on a series of small point and issues. It is the scenario. Let's see what's happened. Most common buying signal. Here's that. I like to use this for this purpose. Does your company provide that? If it is service, if I want to do this, what would happen? How do you? This is buying signal. That means they are already heard you, processed that, and now they are trying to customize it for their own needs. That is a buying signal. Your answer? When you own this, 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 you enjoy this, and in addition, you get this, this, this. You should ask these important questions to assess the situation. Are you going to be using this as this, or would you like this? Again, it is another form of the inviting your prospective customer to give you the buying signal. You're assuming they are going to get it. Now you are trying to customize it for them. Never, ever oversell, which I explained that. The moment the buying signal comes, you go to closing. And trial closing is very easy. It's the same as the other trial thing that we were doing. You just ask, if this thing happened, how would you do this? Then you see if there is any hidden objection